It's become a rite of passage for so many young Australians. Save up for the airfare, book the Euro pass and take off on the big European adventure. And so it was for a Sydney-sider named Jock Palfreyman. Not long out of school, Palfreyman set off overseas and eventually found himself in Bulgaria. Now, though, life for the 22-year-old is far from beer and backpackers' hostels, as he finds himself in the chill and squalor of a Bulgarian prison. Palfreyman's accused of killing a local student. He says he was just defending himself. And as his trial drags on, foreign correspondent has been granted access to Palfreyman's jail to hear a young man's story of regret and his family's fears of a flawed justice system.
What I want to do today is, as quickly as possible, get to see Jock this afternoon before the prison closes.
Dr. Simon Palfreyman has just got into the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. It's taken 2 days to get here from Australia, and this is his 7th trip. His son is locked up in this notoriously overcrowded and run-down prison.
It's quite intimidating being in here. Every time I come here, all I can think of is Jock is still in there. Will we ever get some resolution to this? Will we ever get him out of there? Hello, mister. Hello. How you going?
22-year-old Jock Palfreyman has been in the Sofia Central Prison almost 1.5 years. If he's convicted, he could be here most of his life. The young Australian is charged with murder and attempted murder.
Most of the times I feel I wish it was me who had died on that street.
One night, lives were altered and ended in a matter of moments. Since then, a protracted battle has developed over precisely what happened.
Listen,
I'll talk about it. We'll talk
Comrade
about it.
Tony's getting a bit pissed off now, so I think we all got to leave. I'll see you soon.
In his trips to see his son and muster a defence, Simon Palfreyman has grown suspicious of a very different justice system.
See, all my life I've believed in the system, and I think in Australia I think you more or less can do that. And here I'm for the first time faced with a system that I don't have confidence in.
This is where the fate of Jock Palfreyman will be decided. It's known as the Palace of Justice here in the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. This is where notions of just what is a fair trial are being tested. For the family of a law student killed just round the corner there, a fair trial will mean Jock Palfreyman is put away for life. For the Palfreymans, it means that he'll be seen as having acted in self-defence and is anything but a murderer.
The story begins just after Christmas in 2007, when Jock Palfreyman was holidaying in the Bulgarian countryside with friends from the UK. One of the group was leaving, and they decided to have a night out on the town to farewell her.
Were you as a group out to cause trouble that night?
Not at all, no. We were just out to have a laugh, like 3 friends having a laugh, basically, and that was it.
Jock Palfreyman says the Bulgarian capital is a violent place where he's had trouble before. So he took a knife with him.
I don't know why, I just had a bad feeling about Sofia. There's something about the stress of Sofia that always, there's always problems here that I've found in Sofia.
They all ended up in a downtown club leaving around 1 in the morning. Among them was Lindsay Welsh.
As we were walking down the road, there's a group of men that emerged from the subway, making a lot of noise. I think they were shouting.
They were football fans, fueled up on alcohol.
Maybe 20, even more, maybe 25. And they were all singing and chanting. And people were walking past them and they were pushing them.
Jock Polframan and his friends had been drinking too. They were frightened by the commotion and crouched behind bushes. He says he saw the gang beating up 2 gypsies. When he went in to help, one gypsy got away, but the gang continued their attack on the other one.
As I looked up, what I remember seeing is Jock running and these guys running towards Jock.
And then all the group came and surrounded me in a circle.
Jock Polframan says he pulled out the knife to keep the attackers away. The gang then started hurling cement blocks at the Australian, who was calling out for help.
I was constantly turning in a circle, and every time one would come to me, I would lunge at them with the knife in a swiping movement to scare them. All I remember is being hit on the head and falling down. The last thing I remember is, right, shit, I'm gone. This is it, I'm finished.
I tried to grab Jock's arm, and as I did so, one of the guys turned round and kicked me in the stomach, so I flew back on the floor.
After the brawl, one of the football fans lay injured and another lay dying. He was 20-year-old law student Andrei Monov. Lindsay Welsh left the scene terrified, not knowing that anyone had died or that police had charged her friend with murder. She flew to England the next day as planned. When she found out what happened, she rang British and Bulgarian authorities.
The Bulgarian embassy didn't seem interested at all, so I left my details with all of these people. And also I spoke to someone from Interpol at a later date that made me sign a form saying that I'd be willing to actually go and give a statement saying what I'd witnessed that night. But after that, I hadn't heard from anybody at all.
The failure of police to interview potential defence witnesses is only one of the concerns Dr. Polframan has with the Bulgarian judicial process. Tonight, he's come to the street where it all happened.
In looking at all the evidence, I'm absolutely convinced that it all started with this group of young men accosting these 2 Roma boys quite viciously and violently, and the tragedy then unfolded from that moment.
Dr. Polframan believes the official investigation has been inadequate from the start.
There is a security camera here, which was pointing down to the subway, which is exactly where the boy was being beaten.
But police didn't get the CCTV camera footage that might have shown what made Jock Polframan jump into the fray. When the defence pushed for it, police said a freak blackout wrecked its hard drive. And the original witness statements from the football fans on the night bear little resemblance to what they're saying in court now. They're even denying there were gypsies present.
There were independent witnesses across the road that actually saw the boy being on the ground, being chased, put on the ground and severely beaten